Welcome everyone. For today's practice, if you know that you need props for cow face pose, go and grab yourself either a strap, a belt, or even a tea towel to take the bind. If you ordinarily sit on a block and you don't have a block, grab yourself a cushion or maybe even a big book. So I'll just take a moment here so you can grab your props. And then whenever you're ready, just settling down into child's pose to start off. Resting your hips to your heels, allowing your belly to rest to the top of your thighs, and then drawing your arms back at your sides to rest your forehead to the floor. Beginning with your eyes closed, breathing deeply into the pressure of your knees and thighs. So our minds benefit most from stillness, and our bodies benefit most from movement. So this practice of yoga satisfies both of those requirements. So first of all, allowing the mind to calm, to settle. Noticing how the gentle pressure of your forehead to the floor in this posture encourages your mind to calm and to clear. Now begin to deepen your breath. To initiate your Ujjayi breath, create a slight restriction in the back of your throat, and now allow your breath to become audible, both on the inhalation and the exhalation, creating one continuous sound as you breathe. And now take a few moments to fully arrive here in your body, to settle into this breath. Staying entirely focused on your breath, from here rise onto all fours. And as you come up onto your hands and knees, walk your knees together in the middle of your mat. Now cross your right knee behind the left and allow the feet to splay just a little further apart. Pressing into your palms, imagine that you're trying to press your sitting bones up against the wall behind you. Notice the tendency for the hips to shift to the left here. Shift your hips over to the right to keep your hips centered between your heels. Gaze forward towards your fingertips. And now gently drawing the hips forward, uncross your legs, knees together again in the middle of your mat. Switching sides, cross the left knee behind the right, splay the feet a little further apart, press into the palms, draw the hips back, again gazing forward. And this time shifting the hips just slightly to the left to keep them centered between the heels. Now ease your hips forward, uncross your legs. Separate the knees back to a hip width distance apart. Spread the fingers wide, and now tuck your toes under to float your hips into your first downward dog. Begin by bending one knee into the next, pedaling the heels up and down. And now gradually begin to lengthen through the legs, shifting your weight to your left foot. Lift the right leg as high as you can behind you. Bend your knee and allow your heel to roll over your left hip. Keep the neck relaxed, arms stay long and strong. Straighten the leg back out behind you, lower your foot to the floor, and now switch sides. Lift the left leg high behind you, bend your knee, allow your heel to roll over your right hip, pressing equally into both palms. Now straighten the left leg back out behind you to take a big step forward between your hands, ankle beneath the knee. Step the right foot forward to join the left. Inhale, chest lifts. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way up. Sweep your arms overhead. As you exhale, draw your palms to your heart. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, extend the arms. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step back into upward plank and hold it here for a few big breaths. Pressing back into the heels, extending forward through the collarbones. Lifting your gaze to draw your neck in line with your spine. If this is too much of a challenge, drop your knees to the floor. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lower with control. Hover if you can. And now either rise into little cobra or full upward dog. Strong legs, lift the knees. Exhale, lift the hips. Roll over the toes. Back into downward facing dog for 5 full breaths. Feel free to experiment with the distance between your hands and feet, finding that most comfortable, most stable distance. Take one more big breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step, walk, or hop your feet between your hands. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale to rise all the way up, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. And again, inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, palms to the floor, step or hop into high plank, lower with control. Inhale to rise upward, and exhale, back into downward facing dog for another 5 audible breaths. Drawing the air into the very depths of your lungs with each inhalation. Take one more big breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step, walk, or hop your feet between your hands. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms back to your heart. One more of the same. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, bow deeply over your thighs. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, palms to the floor, step or hop into high plank. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower. Inhale to rise upward. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Taking 5 restful breaths, delivering fresh oxygen, nutrients, and energy to every single cell in your being. Take one more full breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step, walk, or hop your feet between your hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, palms to the floor, step or hop into high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog for the whole length of that inhalation. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Now at the bottom of your next breath, step the right foot forward, ankle directly beneath the knee. Stay on the ball of the back foot, and now shifting your weight to your left hand, sweep your right arm to the ceiling. Feel your spine lengthen into the twist. Lift your heart, roll that top shoulder back. Drop the right sitting bone to the level of your right knee. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, lower your right hand to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the back foot to drop the heel. Exalted warrior, reaching up through the right arm, back through the left. Gazing towards your higher hand, keeping the back leg nice and strong. Take one more full breath in. Exhale, extended side angle pose, either elbow to thigh to extend the left arm forward, or if you like, placing your right hand to the floor on the little toe side of the right foot. Tuck your chin towards your armpit, gaze forward towards your fingertips. As you initiate your next inhalation, rise all the way up, straighten the right leg, Exalted triangle, reaching up through the right arm, back through the left, keeping both legs straight this time. Tuck the belly in to protect your lower back. Take one more big breath in, exhale back to center. Take a long reach forward and now tip into triangle with a nice lengthy spine. Gaze towards your higher hand. Turning your gaze to your big toe on your right foot, soften into your right knee, plant your palms to the floor, and step back into upper plank. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward. Exhale, back into downward dog. Now preparing to repeat that same sequence on the opposite side. At the bottom of your next breath, left foot steps forward. Shifting your weight to your right hand, inhale, left arm extends to the sky. Squeezing that left knee beneath the chest, lengthening into the right heel. Take one more big breath in, lower the left hand to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the right foot to drop the heel. Rise up and back, exalted warrior, gazing toward that higher hand. Left knee deeply bent. Take one more big breath in, back into whichever variation of extended side angle that you took on the opposite side. Leaning back into the shoulder blades, gazing forward towards your fingertips. As you initiate your next inhalation, rise back into exalted triangle, straightening both legs to reach up through the left arm, back through the right. Belly tucked in, core engaged. Take one more full breath in, exhale back to center. Big reach forward, tipping back into triangle. Grounding into the right heel, lengthening over your left thigh. Turning your gaze to your big toe on your left foot, soften into the left knee, plant your palms to the floor, and make your way back into upper plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise upward. Exhale, back into downward dog. Now, rather than hopping your feet forward, walk your hands to your toes, moving to a forward fold at the back of your mat. When you get there, hands rest to shins, ankles, around the big toes if you can reach. As you inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bow forward. Let your neck relax. If you can clasp your toes here, elbows drawn wide to the sides. And as your neck relaxes, the shoulders extend upward toward the hips. Eyes are open, gazing just past the tip of your nose. Keeping your hands where they are as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands forward, returning to downward dog. And now preparing to flow through that same sequence once more on each side, this time holding each posture for one breath only. At the bottom of your next breath, right foot steps forward. Shifting your weight to your left hand, inhale, raise the right arm. Exhale, palm to the floor. Drop the left heel. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, straighten both legs, exalted triangle. Exhale, back to center, long reach forward, tipping back into triangle. Turn your gaze to your big toe on your right foot. Bend your knee, palms to the floor, step back and lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale, back into downward dog. At the bottom of your next breath, left foot steps forward. Shifting your weight to your right hand, inhale, reach into the left arm. Exhale, lower. Drop the right heel. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, exalted triangle. Exhale, back to center. Big reach forward, tipping back into triangle. Turn your gaze to your big toe on your left foot. Bend your knee, palms to the floor. High plank to low plank. Inhale to rise. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now as you return to downward dog, walk your big toes together in the middle of your mat. Extend the right leg out behind you, and now cross your right foot behind the left heel, moving into a cross-legged downward dog. Moving to a cross-legged forward fold, walk your hands to your toes. And when you get there, let your hands slide just a little higher up along that left shin as you work towards straightening the legs. And then from here you can add just as much depth as the hips will allow and the hamstrings will allow. Neck stays relaxed. Weight forward toward the balls of your feet. Bringing the stretch into a slightly different aspect of the hips and the hamstrings with the legs crossed. Take a few more big breaths. And now placing your hands to your hips, rise all the way up with the legs crossed. Release your arms to your sides. In preparation for eagle pose, just begin by bending both knees. Now you can either keep the toes on the left foot to the floor, you can lift the toes off of the floor to let the foot hang, or you can wrap your foot around the back of your standing calf to take the bind. Bringing the arms forward, right elbow crosses over the left, and the palms wiggle in toward each other. The higher the elbows lift, the deeper the stretch between the shoulder blades. Press the shoulders down, draw the thumbs away from your face. And now keeping your arms as they are, slowly release the legs, left foot to the floor, hip width apart from the right. As you inhale, unravel the arms, extend them both overhead. Exhale back into your forward fold, and now walk your hands forward, returning to downward dog. Switching sides, draw the big toes back together. Extend the left leg out behind you. Cross your left foot behind the right heel. And now return to your cross-legged forward fold at the back of your mat. Let your hands slide a little higher up along that right shin as you work towards straightening the legs. Go for a little bit more depth now if you can. Neck stays relaxed. And now drawing your hands to your hips as you inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Release your arms to your sides. Soften into both knees and take whichever variation you took on the other side, either keeping those toes on the floor for balance, perhaps lifting the toes, maybe even slipping the foot around the back of your standing calf. So that standing leg stays bent. Bringing the arms forward, left elbow over the right this time. Wiggling the palms in toward each other. Nice and tall through the upper body. Steady gaze, steady breath. And now keeping your arms as they are, release the legs, right foot to the floor, hip width apart from the left. As you inhale, unravel the arms, extend them both overhead, and on the exhalation, fold forward. Walk your hands forward, returning to downward dog again. Now in this next sequence, we're going to move through similar postures, but this time in their reverse or their revolved form. At the bottom of your next breath, right foot steps forward. Shifting your weight to your left hand, right arm reaches toward the ceiling. Take a few big breaths. Take one more big breath in, place your right hand to the floor. Rising into crescent lunge, come all the way up, stay on the ball of the back foot, arms overhead. Head stays level. Reverse, reverse warrior. The left arm wraps behind your back. The wrist rotates to right arm wraps behind your back. The wrist rotates to wrap your palm around the outside of your left thigh. If you can't quite reach, grab onto a piece of your clothing. Lift your gaze toward your left hand. Drop your right shoulder. Take one more full breath in. Draw your head to center. Drape your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Palms together. Fingertips face forward. Revolved prayer twist. Using that elbow as leverage to draw the upper body around to the right. Now releasing the left elbow, draw your hands to your heart. Pivot on the ball of the back foot to drop the heel, and now straighten your front leg. Reverse exalted triangle. Left arm extends toward the ceiling. Your right hand wraps behind the back again to wrap your hand around the outside of that left thigh. Lift your gaze. Draw the thigh muscles up tightly. Drop the right shoulder. Take one more big breath in. Draw your head to center. Slide your right hand to your lower back. Extend the left arm forward and just take a step in with that left foot to shorten your stance for reverse triangle. Taking a long reach forward, fold forward, and place your left hand to the right shin. Pause here for a few big breaths. Gently tucking that right sitting bone back, hips square to the top of your mat. Now lift your heart, roll the top shoulder back. Either hold it here. You might place your left hand to the floor on the little toe side of your right foot. You might even extend that right arm to the ceiling. Take one more big breath in. Lower the right arm to place both hands to your right shin. Now just for a breath, soften into your right knee. Place your fingertips to the floor on either side of your foot. Step your left foot over to the right and ground into that left heel. Now work towards straightening the front leg again. Tuck the right sitting bone back. Lift your gaze toward your big toe on your right foot. And now transitioning from here into a seated twist. Bend your right knee, tuck the left knee behind the right, and gently lower your hips to the floor. So the right foot crosses over that left thigh as you land. Preparing to twist to your right, place your right hand behind your right hip, left arm to the ceiling. Hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Now inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to look over your right shoulder. Feel the right sitting bone drop. Feel the stretch intensify through that right hip. Draw your chin back to align your ears right over your shoulders. Now take one more big breath in. As you exhale, release the left elbow and return to center. To transition into cow face pose, drape your right knee directly on top of the left. So feel free here to slip a block beneath your hips. Alternatively, you can extend that bottom leg forward. If you know you need a strap here to take the bind, take hold of your strap in your left hand, reach your left arm to the ceiling, drop your hand behind your back, and just begin by giving that elbow a little bit of a nudge as you walk your fist down between the shoulder blades. Now extend the right arm behind your back to either catch your hands or to connect yourself with the tie. Lift the chin from the chest. You might even slide that left elbow behind the back of your head, pressing your head firmly into the forearm to deepen the stretch through the left shoulder. Now deepen your inhalation. Prolong the exhalation. Now releasing your bind, placing your tie off to the side, unwind your arms, resting your fingertips to the floor on either side of your hips. And just take a few big breaths here, feeling the circulation flow back into the arms. Taking hold of your big toes now with both hands, either hold it here seated fully upright, or to deepen the stretch through the hips, the IT bands, and the lower back, you can fold forward over your knees, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. If you've chosen to bow forward as you inhale, rise back to center. Place your fingertips to the floor behind the hips, and as you unstack the legs, extend them fully forward, flexing the feet back and toward the knees, walking the sitting bones a little further apart. Preparing to fold forward as you inhale, raise your arms, and now exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Shoulders soft and relaxed, and just enough space between the chin and the chest to keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. With each inhalation, imagine your spine lengthening. With each exhalation, perhaps tipping a little further into your fold. As you initiate your next inhalation, slowly rise back to center. Tuck your legs into a cross-legged position. Plant your palms to the floor in front of you. Roll forward onto all fours and step back into upper plank. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to rise upward and exhale back into downward facing dog. Now repeating that same sequence on the opposite side, this time stepping the left foot forward. Shifting your weight to your right hand, inhale left arm to the ceiling. Take one more deep belly breath into the twist. Lower the left hand to the floor. Stay on the ball of the right foot and rise all the way up, crescent lunge. Reverse, reverse warrior, wrapping the left arm behind your back, rotating the wrist, wrapping your palm around the outside of the thigh. Walk your fingertips as far down toward the knee as you can. Reach up through that right arm. Press into the right heel. Take one more big breath in, head to center, drape the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Palms together, fingertips face forward. Taking deep belly breaths into the twist. Now slowly release that right elbow, hands to heart. Drop your right heel, straighten your front leg. Reverse exalted triangle, right arm reaches to the sky, left arm wraps around the back, wrapping your palm once again around the outside of that right leg. Gaze towards your higher hand. Draw the thigh muscles up tightly. Take one more big breath in, draw your head to center, slide the left hand to your lower back, Right arm reaches forward. Feel free to shorten your stance here a little bit. Take a long reach forward, fold forward to place your right hand to the left shin. Tuck the left sitting bone back to square off the hips. Lift your heart, roll that left shoulder back. Either hold it here or place your right hand to the little toe side of the left foot. Perhaps the left arm reaches to the sky. Grounding into your right heel. Take one more big breath in. Lower the left arm, placing your fingertips to the floor on either side of your front foot. And just for a breath, soften into that left knee. Step your right foot over to the left. Ground into the heel, and now work towards straightening that front leg. Tuck the left sitting bone back. Gaze forward towards your big toe. And now returning to your seated twist, bend your left knee, lower your right knee to the floor. As you land, the left foot crosses over the right thigh. Taking a twist to the left hand behind your left hip, reach the right arm to the ceiling. Hook your right elbow to the outside of the left leg. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to gaze over your shoulder. Feel your lower belly extend forward to the top of your left thigh, so you're grounding into the sitting bones. Take bigger breaths into the twist. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, release your elbow. Return to center. Returning to cow face pose, stack the left knee on top of the right. Block or a cushion beneath the hips if you need it. To take the bind, tie in your right hand if you need it. Right arm reaches to the ceiling. Drop your hand behind your back and give that elbow a little bit of a nudge. Lift the chin from the chest. Extend the left arm behind your back to either catch your hands or to connect with the tie. Lift your heart. Feel the shoulder blades slide down toward the hips. So in this posture, the knees represent the cow's mouth and your elbows the cow's floppy ears. Notice what happens to your breath as we move into these more intense postures. There's often the tendency to hold your breath. So consciously deepen the inhalation. Add length to the exhalation. And now releasing your bind, unwind the arms. Fingertips to the floor on either side of your hips. Closing your eyes, feeling the release. And now open your eyes, catch your big toes with both hands, and either hold it here, seated fully upright, or fold forward over top of your knees. Shoulders stay relaxed. Gaze stays slightly forward. Neck in line with your spine as the energy in your body flows most freely through a long, straight spine. If you've chosen to fold, slowly rising. And now as you unstack your legs, tuck them into a comfortable cross-legged position this time. Plant your palms to the floor in front of you, roll forward onto all fours, step back into upper plank. Staying nice and strong through your core, lower all the way down onto your belly. And now make your way into Sphinx pose, propped up onto your forearms. Make certain here that your elbows are right beneath the shoulders, forearms are parallel, fingers spread nice and wide. And now imagine that you're dragging your chest forward between the upper arms. Roll the shoulders back toward the hips. And now scoop your tailbone under slightly to alleviate any compression through the lower back. Lengthen into the tips of the toes. So taking a nice gentle approach here to our back bend, you can either hold it here in Sphinx, or to move into seal pose, simply straighten the arms to lift a little bit higher. Keep the tailbone tucked under. Depending on how this feels in your lower back, you might choose to move back and forth between these two postures. Both of these poses are really therapeutic for the lower spine. So if you're in seal with the arms straight, a little bit of a sloppy upward dog feeling. Hips on the ground, gazing just slightly upward without straining the neck. Now if you're still in seal pose, gently lower back down onto your elbows. Crocodile pose, simply sliding the arms forward to rest your forehead to the floor. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest and belly from the floor as you breathe. And then from this position, gently rolling onto your back. And then once you've rolled over, bend your knees, place your feet to the floor, and now give your knees a nice tight squeeze to your chest, gently rocking from one side to the other. And finishing up with knee down twist, keeping hold of your right knee, extend your left leg down onto your mat. Reach the right arm to the side, palm down. Turning your gaze to the right, guide your knee to the left. Right shoulder stays connected to the floor as you roll into the twist. Now drawing your head back to center, guide the right knee back and give both knees another squeeze. Keeping hold of your left knee, extend your right leg down onto your mat. Left arm reaches to the side, palm down. Turn your gaze to the left, guide the knee to the right. And notice if you're twisting with more ease to one side than the other. Drawing your head back to center, guide the left knee back. And now give both knees one last hug. Release your shins, lower your feet to the floor, extend your legs fully down onto your mat for our final posture. Arms resting at your sides, palms open to the ceiling. Close your eyes. Tuck your tailbone under here slightly, encouraging the hips, the thighs, the buttocks to relax. Scoop your shoulder blades under to cradle your heart. Let your breath return to its natural, relaxed rhythm. Learn to be still in the midst of activity, yet vibrantly alive in repose. As you become distracted by each thought, your attention returns to the flow of your breath. Now, keeping your eyes closed, slowly begin to resurface. Feel the slightest movement arise through your fingers and toes. Extend your arms out overhead for a full body stretch. Bend your knees, draw your feet to the floor, and now roll softly to your right side, all the way onto that right shoulder, head to your upper right arm. And now rise from here to a seated cross-legged position. Drawing your hands to your heart, opening our eyes to each other. Namaste. Well, thank you for joining. If you're enjoying my classes, please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. And if you'd like to donate, you can just click on the little PayPal button to the right of Mount Rundle on the main page of my YouTube channel, Own Practice with Misty. Enjoy the rest of your day.